So I want to say right off the bat that when this scandal was starting to be exposed, I was very, 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 very personally disturbed by it.
Yeah.
I believe these men immediately and not for any political reason. I just, for young, adult men to come out about their experience, this experience, assault, multiple assaults and rapes by their doctor, the athletes. These are, you know, it's Ohio State. It's all about corn-fed Midwest, right? I'm from the Midwest. I'm telling you, this whole Buckeye thing is a huge thing for those athletes to come out and say, this happened to us. I was like, oh shit. Oh my God. You got like, oh no. And the way that it was, I know locally in Ohio, it was a very, very big story, and they've stayed on that story. So good on the journalists there and the public there, maybe calling for more information because that's their big university, and it's a whole thing. Um, but I was just so disturbed at the time when the story broke that Jim Jordan can come out and do all of the garbage that he was doing on Donald Trump's behalf, and not a single reporter. I think there was one time Mana Raju or somebody called him, asked him about it, but all the Hill reporters were complete cowards and did never ever confronted him. I didn't see one confrontation. If it happened, it was so I was watching. And it's like, why? Why? Because they're men? What, like, is it just so uncomfortable for people? But these poor men, oh my God. And like no one, you don't care. And this is when they were students, when they were 18, 19 years old, teenagers. And Jim Jordan facilitated mass rape and assault on student athletes in his care for years. The doctor who did this had an office right next to Jim Jordan's. Jim Jordan would say to other people who are now witnesses, and some of them victims that weren't students. There's a man who was a referee for the matches that was assaulting. He's like, I don't know why I didn't stop. I didn't punch him. I didn't say anything about this doctor assaulting him. And he's like, I just froze. And I thought, why didn't I hit him? It's like, yeah, that's assault. That's what happens. You're neurological. You can't fight your brain. You have to train your body to work in spite of your brain. And if you have not done that in that specific situation, I've done that. I have taken the self-defense training for years specific to being raped. It's a very specific training. And it's really hard. You still with even I was like in my fifth course, and I would still freeze up sometimes because the brain just does that to you. So the folks have shame and they have guilt and they have all of this stuff, but it's just a neurological system does this. And so here's men experiencing it and not understanding it, but they're witnesses and they're brave and they have come out. And I am telling you, Ohio State, then there were enough witnesses, there were enough victims, enough survivors that came out and have this way of thinking about it. It's like, yes, we're survivors of sexual assault from this man, but we're victims of Ohio State. We're victims of Jim Jordan. So everybody must watch this documentary. You must watch it. It's so well done, and it's so clear what happened. Ohio State did, and they cover this, they did do their own independent investigation, as universities have done when they're facing these kinds of like Larry Nassar, and they face these kinds of horrific, mass rape and assault, industrial scale, right? And they found, in terms of documented instances that were reported and brought to OSU, brought to the coaches, 170 something cases, 170. And
Jesus.
then did the numbers on how long this doctor was in place and his pattern of abuse, and the statistics on the documentary did this, statistics on especially men who don't report, and they know for certain that the victims are in the thousands. In the thousands. Thousands of students. I want every single parent to imagine now you're going to drive your student to Ohio State and drop your student off, your child, your child. You're going to drop your child off. That's what all those parents did with their boys into the care of Jim Jordan, and he ushered them to a rapist.